What's up, guys? So, the other day I was at the arcade at work, and in walks a Tekken Tag Tournament 1 legend, KOFTekken. Now, if you guys don't know who he is a Korean guy who used to compete back in the days of Tekken Tag 1, and one of his kind of specialties was movement and frame data and kind of the science of Tekken. So he has a lot of interesting ways of looking at the game, ways of like dissecting what the hand can do and how to strengthen, fingers that maybe aren't strong. He's really like the way he looks at the game is really interesting. So anyway, I hadn't seen him in many years, and of course we were catching up and shit. And then we ended up sitting down and playing Tekken Tag 1 a little bit, and we just ended up talking about movement in general, and he taught me a couple things that really were mind blowing to me, and so I thought I'd share those with you guys in this video. Now, as you guys know, I have a very shitty, editing video skills, so I'm gonna do my best to kind of show you guys what he taught me, and then show you in application. The first thing that he taught me was a way to move at range approximately 1.5 or 2 to kind of defend against magic fours and random electrics. Because a lot of players, they try to keep you out with magic fours or electrics or any other kinds of highs that have good speed and yield something either on counter hit or regular hit. So a way to defend against this, normally what you would do is you would kind of move forward and back like this, doing forward with the inside of your hand on one player's side, and then back with your thumb. So you're kind of spacing between that area. One strategy that he taught me, which has worked very well since then, is you do forward with the inside of your palm, but instead of doing back, because when you do back, the first back in that input and the neutral is wasted. Pretty much you can be hit during that. So what he suggested is you do forward, down back, neutral back. And that will yield the same result, which is moving forward and back, but that first back is replaced with a down back. And what that does is it makes you crouch under the high that they're keeping you out with. So I'll show you what it looks like in the game in a second, but just so you know what I'm talking about, it's forward, down back, neutral back, forward, down back, neutral back. And what that does is the character on screen actually looks like he's going forward, like forward dashing and back dashing to kind of maintain space and wait for a whiff. So let's say you're like a Mishima. I'm holding this camera with my other hand, but let's say you're a Mishima against another Mishima. So you dash in, down back to do the quick crouch, back dash, he whiffed something, and then you do your electric. And there's the punish. So I'll show you guys right now what it would look like on screen. Let me set this camera up real quick. It's kind of crooked, but you don't need to see life bars and shit. Anyway, so the range I'm talking about is approximately right here. And let me straighten this shit out so you can see the whole screen. Okay, so approximately right here. And normally what you would do is like kind of space in this area, wait for that electric, wait for that standing four or whatever. But instead of doing forward, back, forward, back, when you're doing that back, that first back neutral, like I said earlier, is wasted. You could be hit during that. So forward, down back is the way to do it. And that, it takes some practice. But when you do it correctly, it yields the same thing as forward, back, but you're actually ducking under the keep out magic 4 or electric you were defending against. So forward, neutral, it's forward, neutral, down back, neutral back. And what that does is just has you do the same kind of spacing you do with this, except you do that quick crouch, and then you're able to duck under the magic 4 as it comes in. The other thing that KOFTekken showed me, which I was really impressed with, is, let me show you guys my hands again. So his method of wave dashing on one player side I found to be very interesting. What he suggests to do, and this is actually a very good idea. In Korea, Korean players generally do not hold the stick. What they do is they leave it neutral and have their hand hovering around it. And so, what he suggested I do, the slowest part of a wave dash on one player side is doing the forward after the crouch dash. So the way you do a crouch dash is forward, neutral, down, down, forward, forward, then forward. That's the slowest part. So what he suggested I do is have my hand neutral without touching the stick and use my fingertips to do the command, then release it at forward and then hit forward with my palm. So what that does, it lets you, instead of the normal way of doing wave dash on 1P, which is this, your whole arm, your whole wrist is making two movements like this. But if you do it his way, it's one motion like that. So it takes practice. It's not like something you could just be, doing right off the bat. But the theory is that what you're trying to do is you're trying to reduce the time. And when you do it the old-fashioned way, which is what I'm doing right now, it requires more dexterity in your arm and hand, and it's slower. But his method, if you're able to do it correctly, you're letting the stick's natural ability to return to neutral, you're letting that do part of the work for you. So you use your fingertips, and it returns to neutral, and then in one motion, you move the stick back to forward. And it's difficult for me to do right now because I haven't practiced it a lot. But in theory, it definitely seems like it's very applicable. And when I try to do it on screen, I can do it like one or two times before my hand's not used to it yet. And of course, a movement like this is like, just very high level and just not something that you could just hear about and do. So of course you should expect it to require some practice, but I just wanted to share this strategy with you because I thought it was very interesting. Using the natural ability of the stick to return from forward to neutral and then making this into one motion with your hand instead of two motions. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 versus one motion. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to you guys. I found it to be very interesting. If you guys didn't, well, fuck off. Anyway, do me a solid and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I will definitely catch you guys later. Peace.